Good evening and thanks for joining us for 9 News Now. I'm Elizabeth Val. Tomorrow's the day voters in Baton Rouge will decide if they agree with Mayor Sid Edwards' Thrive EBR plan. That plan breaks down into 3 different tax renewal measures. The renewals for the public library system, mosquito abatement, and Council on Aging are all on the ballot. The plan would move some funds from each tax into the general fund to make up for some shortfalls in the parish budget. And that includes moving $52 million from the Library Reserve Fund. WAP political analyst Jim Inkster says these 3 have been renewed every 10 years with little pushback in the past, but this time may look a little different.
There are people who are not in favor of any tax. They feel like they've been taxed to death, and they don't like the way they're being presented, and they don't like the new mayor, or any number of reasons to vote against it, and that's a substantial group.
These renewals would fund operations starting in 2027 if they do not pass. Inkster says the parish will have to go back to voters and find a way to get them on board. So you can find your polling location and sample ballot on govote.com. Polling places open at 7 o'clock in the morning and they'll remain open until 8 o'clock at night. 2 men are facing charges after a shooting at a Livingston Parish bar. Deputies arrested Timothy Parks and Caden Lesion. It started at the Good Times bar in Denham Springs. A nearby deputy actually heard the shots and got there and says he saw a suspect take off. Parks is facing gun charges. Lesion is charged with interfering and resisting. No one was hurt, but a vehicle was damaged. A middle school boy in Lafourche Parish has been arrested after deputies discovered AI-generated images involving 8 female students and 2 adults. The investigation began after some girls reported rumors of the images to a school counselor at 6th Ward Middle School. As the holiday season nears, beware of rising scams and identity theft. AARP Louisiana is hosting a free community shred day tomorrow. It's going from 9 in the morning to 11 o'clock at the East Baton Rouge Main Library along Goodwood Boulevard. You can bring up to 3 boxes or bags of personal papers like old tax records, financial statements, and medical bills. This event is free and open to the public. And tomorrow, St. Vincent de Paul is hosting a drive-through food distribution for SNAP recipients. Free food boxes will be given to the first 150 families in line. It starts at 9 at St. Vincent de Paul on Florida Street. Coming up on 9:03, let's get over to Steve Caprata for a check of your weather. Steve.
Hey Liz, main concern tonight and right on into the weekend is going to be the potential for fog. We do have a dense fog advisory overnight through 8 a.m. on Saturday area wide. Now as you look outside, our Sky 9 view from Port Allen across the river, certainly no issues locally with visibility as it stands tonight, but we'll be keeping an eye on these numbers. Right now largely doing okay, 10 miles or better in most spots. There's been hints of a little bit of fog along the coast. That's about it. Otherwise, a mild Friday evening with temperatures anywhere from the mid-50s to low 60s. Baton Rouge 63, Gonzales 60, as cool as 56 right now in Macomb. All right, let's give you a look at that fog potential overnight. What you'll see is most of it holds off until after midnight. Here we are at 4 a.m. starting to get some patches of dense fog showing up, and by daybreak it becomes more widespread. So if you do have to be out early, be alert for that. It is an election day tomorrow, so if you're hitting the polls first thing on Saturday morning, just keep in mind there could be some fog out on the roadways. Otherwise, once we get through that morning fog, a mild, dry afternoon, high up near 80 tomorrow. Excuse me. More of the same Sunday. Morning fog followed by a mild, dry afternoon with a high of 82. We'll give you a first alert to a storm chance headed into next week. That's with the cold front. Here we are Thursday morning on the European to our west. By Friday, it's approaching and moving in. And a couple of questions. Still some questions on the exact timing. And will that line begin to weaken as it moves on through? As the European kind of hints. So those are the things we'll kind of keep you updated on in the days ahead, since that's still nearly a week out. But through the weekend, it's going to be mild, dry, just the morning fog, more of the same into early next week. Keeping it warm next week with that rain chance by Thursday and Friday. Liz.
Steve, thank you. Hey, remember our 9 News app, a great way to keep up with all the things going on in our area. If you haven't already, make sure you download that 9 News app. Friends, thank you for joining us for this quick look at your headlines. 9 News at 10 starts at the top of the hour on WAFB along the Sports Line Friday night at 10:10. We'll see you there.